Okay, folks, welcome to the next part of Uncharted Waters New Horizons for the PC. I believe this is part 7, Heaven's Frogman here, and we are now about to go towards Alexandria to explore the Nile River. And in there we shall find our first villages of the game. But first I'll just show you around the southern part of the Mediterranean first. The first port we're going to run into is Algiers, which is the home port of a certain group of pirates called the Corsairs, I believe, which are led by the dread pirates Aden Lais and Caradin. So if you ever see either of those two bad boys, make sure to give them a wide berth, at least in the early game, because if you don't, they'll basically just beat the ever-living shit out of you and piss all over your body. There we are, the port of Tunis. Both Algiers and Tunis are actually geographically a part of northern Africa, but we're going to stop in Tunis just to resupply. And everybody gets a level up, except of course for Monster Rocco, who won't get a level up in anything for a good long time. So no wandering around this time, just resupply and move on. Now I've purchased some sugar in Madeira, just something to sell in Alexandria. Always be looking for ways to make money wherever you go, folks. That is key to success in the early game. And away we go. Sail a little to the southeast here. And there we go with the port of Syracuse, which replaces Majorca from the first game. Basically, if you ever need to go get some grain, that's the place to go. And there's the port of Tripoli. And from here on in, we'll just sail to the east. Nice little dip down here. Now, as we approach Alexandria, sometimes you can actually end up discovering a village containing the Rosetta Stone, I believe it is, but unfortunately, we will not be discovering that on this playthrough. So there's Alexandria, so we'll just stop on in there, wait till it's daylight. There we go. And this is actually considered part of the Ottoman Empire region, which is considered to be separate from the Mediterranean for purposes of this game. And this port had indeed been thriving for centuries in trade because it's an integral part of the famous Silk Road, which extended all the way to China. Which explains its extremely high economy and industry numbers. Almost equal to that of a capital port. But anyways, we sold off our cargo. So now, for the purposes of this trip, I'm actually going to load more food than water. So I'm just going to load 30 barrels of water, and the rest is going to be in food. And there's a couple of reasons for this. One, in villages, in most cases, you'll actually have to use the entertain command in order to entertain the villagers, so they'll help you make these discoveries that you want to find in these villages. And entertaining actually costs 2 barrels of food, so you have to account for that when you're making those types of voyages. And secondly, you can also, in most parts of the world, you can actually go ashore, and fairly reliably you can find a clear spring, which allows you to load as much water as you want on board. For free, of course, as usual. And there's a village. So, our first village. So we're going to go ashore. So we'll just search the place. Ta-da! We've discovered ruins of an ancient civilization. You can discover all kinds of things in this game, from landmarks to ruins to plants to foods to animals. So we've done all we need to here, so let's just cast off. You can usually find 3 to 4 villages in the Nile River in any playthrough of the game. So as we continue down the Nile, it's kind of a long trip, so you do want to make sure you're at the start of it. When you go to Alexandria, your cargo hold is full of your supplies. Don't take any trade goods on this trip. It just isn't worth it. Better safe than sorry, basically. And in the past, branch splits into 2 branches here, so I'll go down the eastern one first. And there's another village. And another 50 points of fame for yours truly. Search, and alright, we discovered a natural wonder. Now, the value that you're seeing there is, I'm sorry, excuse me. Basically, it's the value that people will place on that particular discovery, and we can actually sell this information to certain people for sums of money. And the higher the value of the discovery, from C on up to the star ranking, just like, actually no, I think it goes from D to the star ranking. So the higher the rank, the more that these people will pay out. And here's another village, so we'll just pop in and discover a plant. And the very, very useful baobab tree is now in our record books. Now, as I've said before, there's about 100 villages, or close to that number in this game, but only about 50 will spawn in each game, so you will not ever discover every single thing, every single village and every single discovery in one playthrough. You have to play through the game at least twice, and almost certainly 3 times, in order to discover everything. So that kind of adds to the game's replayability a little bit. And there's nothing at the end of the river here, so we'll just head on back up. Now, obviously we're running low on water here, so we're going to actually try to find that clear spring that I told you guys about. Search, and we found a clear spring. Fantastic. And we'll just load an equal amount of water on board the ship there, so 28 barrels. And there we go. Okay, folks, so I think I'm going to cut the video off here, so when we come back, I'll show you guys what we do with those discoveries we just found. So, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys later.